Hey, top and the out of this world story. There are ladies and gentlemen and welcome back in Story Travel. I'm your host Manir.
My daughter, 26, and I haven't spoken in years. When she was 15, we found out she wasn't my biological daughter, and my wife had cheated on me years ago with a friend. As it turns out, this so-called friend was suddenly interested in playing dad. My wife and I divorced, my daughter learned the truth, and I told her I still loved her no matter what. Of course, she was interested now in getting to know her biological father, and while it hurt, I tried to accept that. She started pulling away from me after that. Even when trying to still do things together as a family, she was no longer interested. The last straw was when she was 20 and living at my house. We were arguing because she'd dropped from her college courses, hasn't done anything for 3 months, and mad because I told her she either needed to go to school or work if she wants to stay here for free. She told me I'm not a real dad, so stop pretending like I am, and she'll just go stay with her real father. That broke me honestly. But I told her, if that's how she really feels, then there's really nothing left to say between us. And she did move out to go live with him. I was depressed for a very long time, drank so much. My son, 24, was my only reason to keep moving forward. For the first couple years, I reached out to my daughter, she wanted no contact. I learned to accept that and move on. It helped me find more peace in my life. My son stopped talking to her for a while over this and was angry with her. They still chat sometimes, which doesn't bother me at all. Through him, I learned her biological father died in October 2019. Also, that she's engaged. She reached out to me, first that she knows that we haven't talked in a while, but wants to ask me if I'd be willing to walk her down the aisle. After a pretty long message about how much she hurt me in the past with her actions, I told her no. She didn't want me to be her father anymore, so I learned to no longer view her as my daughter. This turned into a fight between us because according to her, it's not her fault she wanted to know her real dad. And I agreed with her it's not, but what was her fault was how she treated me ever since. In my mind I know, if he hadn't passed, we wouldn't even be speaking right now. It ended with telling her, I hope she enjoys her wedding, but I want no part of it or her life. My sons told me she's ranting to my family, that I'm ruining her day, and she thought parents are supposed to love their kids unconditionally. My brothers seem to think now that I am being an asshole, and this is my chance to be in her life again. But I have no interest in that. Still seems everyone has a strong opinion on it, that I'm making it difficult for my daughter to have the wedding she wants, when it would mean a lot to her. My son is on my side, but the comments are still wearing me down, and just for the sake of my sanity, am I being an asshole?
OP, she was the one that decided that you're not her father in any capacity, and you've respected that. Now that the other guy is dead, she doesn't get to change the rules all of a sudden. She doesn't want you, she wants someone to play the part and maybe have you chip in on the expenses. Maybe your son can be the one to walk her down the aisle, or maybe her mom could, or one of her uncles, it doesn't really matter. But I want you to notice how the daughter said that parents are supposed to care for their kids unconditionally. But she said to stop being her parent. She said that herself. So you stop, and there are tests that can prove that. Also, you can't just say mean things to the man who raised you and then when your real shitty dad dies, expect him to forgive and forget what you said. That's not how it works. OP, you're not the asshole. Your wife's affair baby is. Now for OP's update.
Thank you for your support. Especially those fellow parents who reached out in my messages. Advice, judgment, and suggestions on what to do about my family. It took sending a mass text to everyone who wouldn't leave me alone about this. Took me some time to think of what to write and clear my head from everything. The reminder of everything that I did over the years to try to be in her life and where that all ended. How detrimental it was to my mental health. They all remember how it was like. How much it put me in a dark place that took lots of therapy and the need to be there for my son to get out of. My brother called me after, he apologized for the way he was pushing this. We had a much longer conversation. I told him my decision to remain out of her life was final. So he respected that, since no one else has said anything, I'm hoping that means everybody else got the message. Best thing some suggested here was blocking out the others saying things, and her. It wasn't doing my mind any good. I spoke to her over the phone to talk about the way she's been behaving online and the others in the family. I apologized for how things happened and wish she didn't have to deal with these life-altering moments at such a young age. She made her choice for the past 6 years, just the way I have. Even asked her to be honest with herself and answer, not to me, if her biological father hadn't passed, would we be here right now, speaking to each other? She didn't say anything. But that's fine. It's a question for her to honestly answer to herself. Like I did before, I told her to enjoy her wedding and hope it's a lovely healthy marriage. And this door to our relationship is closed, hope she could find peace with that and enjoy her life the way I have. Conversation ended shortly after that. She didn't say if she would stop saying anything about me online, so I just made sure to block her and others on her mom's side of the family to make sure there's no more bothering. This is the peace of mind I needed and glad to have taken up this advice.
Good for you, my friend. I'm glad that your brother came around and you had a good talk. Hopefully, more will follow. But the daughter, she would never talk to you again after the wedding if you did go to it. She just wanted you as a prop. She would not let you see her children or be their grandfather. She just wanted to use you and maybe your bank account. After all, it is kind of a tradition for the bride's father to shoulder a good chunk of the wedding's expenses. Honestly, she sounded like a bridezilla. I'm touched that you treated her kindly, despite what she did to you, and closed the door peacefully. Honestly, having just read through the original and now the update, I have to tell you that you sound like the kind of person anyone would be thankful to have as a father. She totally cut off her nose despite her face, and now she's definitely feeling the repercussions. Let her stew in her own selfishness, and you have a great life with your son. Good luck, OP. Now, for today's second story. Am I the asshole for refusing to house my wife's daughter after she refused to house mine? Posted by Reddit user housing Am I the Asshole 00.
My wife and I have been married for 10 years, second marriage for both of us. I have a 19-year-old daughter from my previous marriage, while she has a 26-year-old daughter with her late husband. We both agree to not discipline each other's kids and that we wouldn't be a parental figure for neither of them. Last year my daughter left for college, a senior from her same university, was offering a room cheap-ish, and she decided to move in, and aside from when she was at class my daughter's was home 100% of the time, and the roommate for some reason was mad at this. She ended making my daughter feel bad and uncomfortable, to the point she decided to move out earlier than she had to. She asked me for help since I'm the one who lives closer, my ex, and I asked my wife if my daughter could come live with us for a month while we got her another place. She said no because for her, my daughter was running from being an adult, that we shouldn't coddle her, that she was acting like a baby, and that mommy and daddy shouldn't fix everything. We had to move faster and got her another place, but it put a stain to our relationship. And I confess that I didn't feel that was okay. Now, her daughter got married 2 years ago and recently found out that her husband cheated on her. My wife decided she should come live with us indefinitely and that we would fully support her because she was a stay-at-home mom. I put a stop to this and I said that we wouldn't do that, or at least I wouldn't, and that the max she could stay here was 2 weeks while she got another place. My wife flipped on me saying that is not my choice since it's our house, and I said that that's the same reason is not her choice either. She was the one who brought my daughter's need and said that I was willing to house her and that I was playing favorites. I said I asked for a month not indefinitely and that yeah, I thought it wasn't fair. She was expecting me to drop everything for her daughter, while mine was just acting like a baby. She called me an asshole, said this was totally different, then went to our room and hasn't come out yet. She refused to eat, and I'm wondering if she's right.
Absolutely not the asshole. The hypocrisy of your wife is absolutely just surprising. Her daughter can live in your house indefinitely, but your daughter cannot stay for 1 month? Tell her there is one standard. Adult children will be helped or they won't be helped. There's no in between. There is no, my daughter gets help but yours does not. In fact, tell her this. I will welcome your daughter in the exact same way you welcomed mine. You know, because she has been a complete asshole not just to you, but your daughter. She needed the help. She was with an abusive roommate. Why the hell would you not help her in that situation? Tell her the exact same line that she used on you. I feel that she is running away from her adult problems. Mommy can't fix everything and she needs to figure it out for herself. OP, your wife seems very selfish and self-centered. The poor daughter was only 19 and her first roommate situation didn't work out. I definitely agree that home is a good place to go back to. She wasn't trying to cop out on adulting. She needed support for a short period of time. Most college students come home during the summer. Why is the wife acting this way? For me, OP, I'm just gonna get a divorce. I'm not at all willing to be married to a very self-centered person. OP, your daughter should come first. Your daughter is only 19. She barely left the nest. The real solution here is to divorce that selfish bitch. She already showed you that she's willing to throw your daughter under the bus, but not her precious baby girl. That was a terrible impression. I'm sorry. Anyways, good luck with your next relationship, OP. Oh, but next time, don't get married. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my YouTube channel for you to watch absolutely free. So consider clicking that super thanks just below the video title, or you can use my PayPal in the description box down below.
Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to Story Travel to never miss a future upload. Please inclusion.